Right, so many builds have a huge reliance on non-full blocks. So what if you could only use full blocks? The first thing we want to do is establish a block palette. For some reason, I'm thinking we go with some darker blocks, which I don't hate, but I think we should probably get some other blackstone blocks. So essentially, I'm trying to get the block palette first, then I work out the actual shape of the structure. So we've got our wall, but I didn't like the block for the pillar, so I messed around until I found one I liked. We could do a second floor with a wood, like dark oak planks or spruce plank, but I didn't like the plank, so I eventually settled on strip dark oak. I wanted to try finding a block to go with it, but I couldn't really find anything, so I left that for now. So I'm thinking we make the sort of architecture more blocky than I normally would, in order to lean into the more blocky aesthetic, because either way, it's going to have to be blocky, because I can only work with full cubes. So I'm thinking we could lean into that aesthetic by sort of building like block shapes, but obviously I think we need to go bigger than 3 blocks wide, because that would mean the interior is only 1 block. So I turned the 3x3 cubes into 5x5 cubes. So I'm thinking the roof, we could go with multiple sort of flat shapes. So like, we could have that there, and then we could have another over here, but this potentially, rather than going up the full 2-way, we'd have a roof on top there, and we have a roof on top here. So it's not going to look like a normal house, but I think it would still look good. I haven't thought about the roof colors. I don't know what colors I want for the roof. I'm thinking probably go light. Ooh, hang on, dark prismarine. That's interesting. Dark prismarine probably works, but I don't know if I like that. I might put it here, and maybe we just go completely flat. I think maybe what's weird is that it's not flat. Maybe that looks better. Maybe we take that off, and then we take one of those off, so it is off center. The roof there I think looks nice, although I do want to change it from dark prismarine. I don't like the block choice, but I like how the roof meets there. I'm not liking the roof here. So I messed around with the shape but didn't really get anything I liked, and then also got sidetracked and put some mangrove into the top of the wall. Definitely need to change the roof block. What do I change it to? Great question. Can you answer it for me? Because I don't want to have to decide that. I could try brown terracotta. I could try the gray terracotta. Blue terracotta if I'm feeling fancy. So those I think are my options. I didn't like any of my options, so I went back to the drawing board. This is going to be another one of the it either really works or it really doesn't work. Because cherry wood is dark, but it has a sort of purplish tint to it, so maybe it'll give a lovely pop of color, and I think maybe that actually does work quite well. I quite like that actually. I think we get some more blocks going in. And by blocks, I don't mean the actual tiny blocks, I mean these blocks here. So I started by essentially putting in a scaffold using the pillars, and once I had that in, I put in the roof, as that was very simple, because for once the roof is just flat and it's 1 block. Then I put in the walls of the top story before putting in the walls of the bottom story, because the walls of the bottom story are a bit more difficult because the gradient's more complicated. Then I decided I wanted another top story cube, so I put that in, and now I need to figure out where the entrance is going, because I haven't thought about the entrance yet. But I'm thinking this can probably be the entrance, right? We can probably just break a hole in here. Probably won't be oh, hang on, I can't use doors. It's just occurred to me. I have to have an open door frame. I guess I could use the acacia logs to indicate that that is the door frame, and then you just walk in via this gap. We need a block for the floor. Smooth stone, maybe? Yeah, I don't think smooth stone's bad. And then we could mix in some polished andesite as well. We could probably have a window here. So we have some light gray there. I'm thinking we could probably also do a window here. Oh, hang on, the windows kind of meet, which I don't like the look of, so we might just make the windows smaller. But then from the outside, that's gonna look strange. Okay, so I think we don't put a window here because they will meet if I do. And then over here, we can have our wider window. Or even, hang on, this entire back part, we could make the entire back be a window like that. I think that could work, assuming it looks good from the outside. I'm gonna roll with that. I mean, it looks good enough. We want upstairs windows as well. I'm thinking we go like a circular sort of window and the glass. I tried some colorful types, but ultimately ended up going with this sort of light gray, which works. It would work better if I had panes. Also, I'm thinking maybe we should make it a square rather than the circle that I made. Yeah, I think it looks better as a square. I might put a window just here on at the back. The interior is normally made up of blocks that are not full blocks, so that you can have a better level of detail, because with a structure, it makes sense to build it out of like full blocks, but interior decorating, you want more of the non-full blocks, whereas I only have full blocks to work with. Oh, I don't even get stairs. I can't even make a stairway up. I'm gonna have to do like blocks you have to jump over. We can probably go with like stripped oak as a floor. It's gonna intersect with our windows kind of. Oh, I want to bring the window down by a block, because it just looks weird being connected to the interior roof. I do not prefer the windows lower down, but I do prefer that there's a little bit of a gap. But anyway, we need a way up to our second floor. I don't think there's a world where this looks great, but I want to make it look semi-decent. I might replace this with beehives, which, if you haven't seen these used before, is a strange choice. But look at that, that's such a good floor block, and it also works as a roof block. The side of the beehive does kind of look like it could be like a supporting pillar, and then you can walk up, but you do have to jump manually up the stairs. I kind of want this to be a bedroom, but I'm gonna have to manually build beds. I mean, it's not too difficult, it's just this doesn't look great, but I don't really have a choice. And then I want like a bedside table, which I would use a stair, but I don't have stairs. And then I want like a bedside lamp. So the interior is not gonna be good, alright? I think I should preface with that. Normally I'd get like a decorated pot. I guess I could do terracotta as the pot, and then the leaves are like a plant coming out of the pot. This is like the knockoff decorated pot. So we only have one bed here now. So we have our bedside lamp, we've got a bed. I think it could be beneficial to have like a desk. Oh, this is so difficult. I can't do any interior details because everything has to be a full block. Because it's like, what can I put on the desk? Well, anything I want to put on the desk has to be a full block. I think there's one way I can cheat that isn't technically cheating. So I've done the opposite of this challenge before, where I built without full blocks, so with only non-full blocks. And with only non-full blocks, I used entities like paintings, because if you think about it, this challenge is building with only full blocks. Technically I could never mind. The challenge there was building without full blocks, because an item frame and an armor stand are entities, it's still without full blocks, because they're not full blocks, they're entities. Whereas the challenge here isn't without non-full blocks, it's with only full blocks. And the word only would mean that I can't use entities, because I can only use full blocks, which is annoying because I thought I found a loophole to my own challenge, but I haven't, and I'm angry. I'm not happy about this because my job is still just as hard. I could use shulker boxes. We can put this on the table. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it's something. We could say there's another table with another shulker box. We could hang leaves. Normally what you'd do is like you'd have a chain, and then you'd have chains and some plants, so the iron block can represent the sort of chain that leaves would hang from. So I leafed all over the roof before moving on to downstairs. We can figure out, what's this place gonna be? And I think it can be a working place, right? They could have like a workbench in the corner. They have smithing table, and we could do, hang on, up here, something I just realized, bookshelves. We have our bookshelf. Now we can come back down here and continue with our functional blocks. We can do like blast furnaces and then with smokers on top. Furnaces like that maybe. And we can maybe put like a cartography table there. A fletching table there. And then in here we can put like a little carpet. Hang on, no, I can't put carpet, but I can do wall. This would be like a little welcome rug. Hang on, if I get brown. It's like when a house has like a little welcome rug. So that's what this is. Then I did another carpet like so. We can maybe like drape the carpet up here. Maybe not, probably not. Yeah, okay, that's lovely. And then we can even textures it a bit. We can just put a lovely little pot here and maybe a pot here. And even we could have some in the corners here. And that one maybe removed. Almost done. I turn my sights to finishing touches on the exterior. I think I can integrate this into the environment better. Should I do this? Oh, I definitely should do that. That looks so good. So I'm gonna do that everywhere. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And it'll probably cut soon. This wall here needs a bit more detail, right? So I added some leaves to help break up the monotonous texture of the wall and also provide some depth. I then applied this everywhere so that the whole bottom floor could look interesting. And with that, the build was complete. I think the exterior is alright, and I love being able to see the interior through this window. So let's pop in. In here we've got a little welcome mat, and then we've got a bunch of workstations. We can come up this staircase, but you do have to manually jump because I don't have any stairs. And then you've got like a place for them to store some stuff, some hanging plants from the roof. Very long, very thick bed. I hope you enjoyed. Comment on how I can improve my videos. Goodbye! Yeah. Hey again, I don't really have anything else to say, except don't procrastinate, I guess, because I did a lot of that while making this video, and it's not great.